Hi, Callie here from MOI Resin MV. I have a couple projects I'm working on, and one of them is a request for a frog. So I thought perfect timing for a video. So I'm going to go over all of the steps that I take to make this frog and some added details. And if you're interested in more ideas or just learning about pouring resin art, hit that subscribe bell. Hey guys, it's Callie. Today I am going to go through the steps that I use to make this, make a frog figurine. I've used this mold a couple times and changed up the colors a little bit each time, and they all turn out pretty awesome. This frog mold came from Let's Resin. It's really good quality. And so to start with, the first step is you're going to want to make sure you clean your mold, soap and water, make sure it's completely dry. And then grab a couple of brushes and a couple metallic pigments. This is a graphite, so it's more like a gray and is good for doing some shadows. So I'm going to just like get some edges of the mouth, maybe the tip of the mouth. All this is going to show after we unmold. This gives it like a lot more detail. Okay, so I went in, made shadows where that like the knees, the elbows, wherever I think shadows should go. I'm going to use this graph or more like silver metallic, then to maybe give it a couple of my own specks, make it look more natural then when we demold it. Not a lot, because like I said, you don't want the pigment to be floating around. Just a couple. Okay, and then let's do a couple of warts on the back. It is textured, so you can just okay, I think we have it. I think that's about it for painting. And so now the next step would be to mix our resin and get that poured. So I will go ahead and mix that up and I'll be back. Mixing our ice. Now the ice thin is actually thick, so I have no idea why they call it ice thin. I guess because it's the one that you would pour for a thinner coat, but it can be like for a coating or all the way up to 1 inch. So because of it being so thick, it tends to have bubbles. You know, of course you can get the bubbles out with alcohol or heat gun. I really like the thickness of this, and also after it cures, I have never seen another resin be this clear and magnifying. So so I highly recommend it. So once we get this stirred, which Scraping the sides and the bottom, getting it all mixed. Doesn't take that long since it's only a small amount. Okay, so you can see in here, green's underneath it, but these are all samples that were sent to us by Torganol. So we're going to grab our cups to divide the pigments in, get that all mixed up and ready. Okay. And then we'll divide that resin between the cups. Oops. What a mess. Okay. All right, and we are ready to pour. I have divided up the resin, mixed in our pigments here, put them in paper cups. The reason I'm using the paper cups over the plastic cup is it just makes it easier because I can pinch aside and make it like a little spout. It's less messy. I put everything on my leveling board, which I use at home because I'm working on a table that is not level, so it's easier to pour and not worry about your figurine being lopsided. So I will actually link in the comments where you can get your level board. It's 16 by 12. I am actually looking for a larger one if anyone knows where I can get a larger one for extra large projects. Please, comment and let me know. So as part of the downfall of the leveling board is it's glass. So that means your resin is going to stick to it. So you can either put a silicone mat on it, or what I did was just put some cellophane plastic, and I just change it out when needed. That way I can still see that it's level. So it's pretty cool. You adjust the feet, and just like one of your levelers, you just match up the eye and it tells you that your board is level. Okay, so let me get my gloves on here. What do I do with them? Here we go. And we are ready to pour. Okay, so there's some little tiny spots that need some help, and I don't want to over pour. So I'm just gonna try to help it over a little bit. I might add a little bit more, but yeah, I think I'm gonna add a little bit more, but first I'm gonna just help it over into these small spaces. Just going to pour down the middle to sort of push out into those feet a little bit more. But it is starting, I can see it starting to bubble up. Whoops. Made a drop. Let's see. Now if you have these things when little pieces that sort of go over the edge a little bit, after you demold, you just clip them off. I do recommend clipping them right away though, because when they're a little soft, it's just easier. All right, so that's going to be it for today. We probably have to leave it in there about 12 hours before I demold. It's not going to be completely hardened, but it will be pretty hard enough to where we can demold. I'm not the most patient person to wait for it. Okay, I'm back, and it's been a little under 24 hours since we poured our frog. So I'm always super excited to see how these creations turn out. So here we go. Okay, here's the reveal. I decided to do two frogs. I used the very same colors. I just added a little more of the metallic powders when I painted on the one, and then I changed up the orders with the pouring. So one looks a little darker than the other. Here's this one. Looks like it's a little more textured because I had added more of the pigment to it. Pretty cool looking, I like that. And then over here, this one here has the same colors, but it looks slimy. So let me know in the comments, do you like the textured frog or do you like the slimy frog? Which is your favorite? Leave a comment below.